Zest is in, where resilience begins, not fixing the cracks.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Zest is in with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that takes you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today it's an absolute honor to welcome my guest, Tim Wagner. He is a Breathwork Alchemist, Regenerative Health Coach, and visionary, helping professionals reclaim their health, clarity, and life purpose. After burning out in the corporate and hospitality world, he transformed his life and is now empowering others to rebuild at a cellular level, reduce stress, reclaim energy, and step into a life of freedom and fulfillment. What more could we want? Through his work, he invites us to explore how listening to our bodies, rewiring habits, and embracing purpose-driven action can unlock the life beyond survival and spark transformation in the body, mind, and soul. If you feel called, I invite you to share a little love by helping amplify incredible voices like what you'll hear today from Tim. It costs you absolutely nothing, but helps reach many more hearts and minds. So thank you if you have done so already. And may this episode bring you the clarity, courage, and inspired action that you might be seeking today. Welcome.
Amazing, Shel Marie, that's fantastic. And listening to what you're saying, I'm casting my mind back to 2018 when I left the corporate world as a strategic business person who was a realist, and this is the way the world works. To hearing what you're talking about now, I'm thinking, is this me? Has that much changed? Wow. Have I grown that much since those times that this is now what I speak about? And how exciting it is at the same time.
Yeah, how beautiful. Wow.
It's quite remarkable about what can happen when you decide to make the change in yourself, right?
And you know what's really ironic that I'm straight away thinking is you're always that mirror probably to your clients. So how beautiful.
Yes.
To have that moment, even when we can like preempt things coming, even with me sometimes, like when you share things, it's like until you fully hear someone else say it back, sometimes it doesn't quite like it's like you're doing it, we're being. But sometimes, and I think I'm really happy that you brought that up, because especially when you talk about rewiring the mind and things like that. Yeah. So I know that the power of words probably is a very, very, very important tool that huge. The moment I started realizing that the sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you, was absolutely beep.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, yep. And just actually, while we're on that, do you want to talk about the power of words? And just because I feel like it's come up, so why not explore it a little bit?
Definitely. In my coaching program, one of my big sections I talk about is understanding that there's a reason why it's called spelling. Because words carry spells, right? Yeah. And it's just one of those things that I learned over the years. Now, I've seen, I think his name is Hashimoto, a Japanese guy back in the 80s, you're nodding your head, who did research on water. And he discovered that water has memory, and water traps energy. And when you shout at water, or you give love to water and you freeze the molecules, or you freeze it, then you have a look at the crystalline creation and you see the beauty and the ugly. Yeah. And how powerful. Now, I knew that years ago, but I hadn't really internalized it. So when you consider that the power of words impacts water, and what percentage are we made up of water? About 78% of our entire physiology is made up of water. So every time you verbalize the mean words, let's put aside what it does to the other person you're speaking to. What does it do to you internally?
Absolutely.
And if it changes water crystal on that base, what happens internally? How come over years of repeating these things do you become that angry, evil, nasty, sick, cancer-ridden, depressed human? Because you said it, not because of what anybody else did, but internally. Power of words. So understanding that, it's It's not something I specialize in, but it's extremely powerful to understand the impact of the words. I can't. Absolutely. Okay, so you can't. The universe will say, all right,
get you some evidence. Yeah.
There we go. It'll give you the evidence. That's exactly it. Versus, yes, changing the word pattern changes who you are and your outcome.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is a buzzword that's being thrown around way too much, the whole manifester. But essentially we are, because what we don't realize, whether we take responsibility or not, is we are always manifesting. I think people always think that manifesting is the big thing, the vision board. No, you are manifesting every single time you open your mouth, every single time you think something. And so just before we go on to the next part, because I know you said it's not necessarily something that you always specialize in, but I'd just love your take on it. I feel like when you find out these gems, and this was my personal experience, some people, me, take it so literally that then I'm like, even in conversations with other people, even affirmations say they're just saying on my life, okay? And I started being really like, instead of the calm, the loving, the compassionate Shelley, and this, by the way, I'm fast forwarding now. I want to tell you that this is not the case now, but it was. Right. I was like, cancel it out. No, I'm not having this spoke on my life, and it's so ironic because I believed that then they had the power to speak over my life because I believed that, so I received that. Whereas I now know, no. That often, and again, it's not making assumptions, but often it's a projection of them onto you. And if you believe it, guess what? You become and receive it. So I just think, so I just love your take on that, because I know that I feel like sometimes we do this and then we have to go, no, rein it back in. This is not how you're supposed to be functioning in life. This is not kindness. This is not compassion.
Well, what when you're saying this is not how life is meant to be, this is not what I want, but yet you're projecting it out there. But one of the journey, and this is a present journey I'm on now, I'm going to be very personal with you here, because it's a very recent, I'm talking that it's really started to make an impact on my life the last year or two, maybe even 6 months, and really getting honed in far more on this, is the understanding that there's a reason that everything happens.
Oh, yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, even if right at that moment you have no idea why. But if you can get into the mind space, and I don't know if you follow the channelist Bashar.
Yeah.
He speaks about it a lot, and this is me just internalizing it and reproducing it so that it helps with my belief system and my understanding for clarity. That's why I share, I love speaking, is that when you understand that everything happens for a reason, whether it's a good thing or bad thing that you believe in that moment, but you believe it happens for a reason, then there's no such thing as bad, evil, going backwards, because it's all part of the journey. But you may not see it then, so that's where you have to have belief or knowing.
Knowing, yes. Because this is another powerful thing, is I realized again.
That's down here, belief here, knowing forms down, right?
Thank you for that. But again, it's a journey, isn't it? You stumble or you realize something, and then I remember like connecting to it, and not to call it feminine and masculine, but it felt very much like please or thank you or I'm hoping. Whereas again, words hold certainty, they hold clarity, and I believe a knowing. Like if you were to say now, no, I know your name is. So if I said, Tim, I know your name is Frank, and you're like, no, I know it's Tim. But if we say something else, sometimes it's a belief. Oh, it could be, it couldn't be. We're not sure, but there's things we know. Yeah. And I think to really get to that point, you've got to have such certainty and clarity and really belief in yourself.
So here's a question for you, because I love where this is going, and I'm going to take it right back to the beginning. I'm an analyst by nature. I want to analyze things to understand. So we're talking about vibration, law of attraction, all these things, and I can show you various phrases and words I've got all over my desk in different post-its, just to keep my mindset in the positive and the movement forward. But here's the key thing, which was a stumbling block that I went through when I started coaching. I've been speaking and coaching since 2008, but got more serious around 2022. And one of the big things that, when talking about the power of words, the power of goal setting, dream building, understanding your true innate nature, your why you're here, what's your purpose, which was my questions, is majority of people get stuck. And you could say, yeah, but they don't really know why they want to do what they do. Why do New Year's resolutions fail? Why do typically 99% of people not move forward with their dreams and their goals? They may have a dream book, a vision wall, you mentioned these things. So this was a whole understanding and journey that I went on of my own personal life, where I've always been the one, I see it, I'm going to go. I'm tenacious, I'm going to carry on. But 99% of people aren't.
Yeah.
And I went back and I was asking the question, but why? Why? What am I missing? What are people really struggling with that in business, in the coaching, that they're not getting through that true transformation?
Yeah.
And the answers came twofold over many years. The primary one is we're stuck in stressed fear, fight, flight states.
Yeah.
And when you're stuck in that state, you're not able to function, think rationally, because you're stuck in this panic. You know what it's like when a car comes streaming around the corner as you weren't expecting, as you're stepping out from the curb, and you jump back. Instantly, you go into fear, fight, flight mode. Your conscious thinking brain is designed to switch off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And how many people that you know in the audience listening to this know who are permanently living in panic mode, overwhelm mode, high stressed, on the verge of burnout or having burned out?
Yeah.
So all of these things we're starting to talk about at the beginning now become null and void, and people go, doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, just like saying the law of gravity doesn't work. It's the law of the universe, law of nature, law of attraction, whatever you want. It works.
Yeah.
It depends on whether you're going to work it or not. Now, you can try and defy the law of gravity. Good luck.
Yeah, but you so beautifully just said, literally, I feel like what we were just literally talking about of, no, it doesn't work. Well done. Here's the evidence. You're right. You're right. And that's the beauty. You're right. It doesn't work. Well done. You don't get to have it.
Now.
So it's like, who are we cheating? Why don't we be curious? Why don't we be like, okay, I'm not sure about this, but you know what? I'm actually going to be, let's see if it will work. Because if we straight away have that strong, no, it will not work. Well, abracadabra, as they say, here you go.
It doesn't. So here's the question then, which was the question I was asking. Why do most people believe that it doesn't work?
So, now again, this isn't the truth. This is my perspective. I often believe there's different stages, in the sense of there's the very unconscious stage, which is just how we've been told that this is just what you do. There's no actually explanation. It's just, almost that back to that, just do it. Don't keep asking, just do it. And I think you're just kind of almost just doing what everyone else is doing. Then there's the more, if you want to say, awakened stage of actually consciousness. But I feel like, and I would love your take on this, that, and this was a part that I'm sure lots of us have really felt like you're going through like a storm all the time, because you awaken to it, but your mind has been telling yourself a completely different story for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And so then that's why I think, and I remember being like this, no, it doesn't work, because you haven't been told, no, it will, but just think you've got, so say my example, 30 years of it being told this way, and now you're like, oh, she said it this, or Tim told me that. Okay, why is it not working? Your poor brain, your poor nervous system, your poor body has got 30 years to go, to work out and say, okay, we're changing. Safety, fear. Even if it's for the greatest good. And you're like, oh, okay, money, I understand money now. because money was not a good thing. Money was evil, but money was bad, or whatever the things we were all told, consciously or unconsciously. So I feel like often, and I might have just missed this out, a lot of us are missing the big step in between of patience. Be kind to yourself, be loving to yourself, be compassionate to yourself. It is coming. It's in your system, and that vision, that what you have for your life is coming. But okay, you might have to do a bit of work first.
Beautifully said. And you were talking a lot about competence. And there's the 4 stages of competence. And let me see if I can get it right, where you're going from unconsciously incompetent to unconsciously competent to consciously incompetent and then consciously competent.
Yeah. So even as, sorry to interrupt you, Tim, but even as you say it like that, you can see people are like, check out. This is too, but no, please.
They're unconscious to it still. Right.
Yes.
Wayne Dyer speaks about it in a couple of his books. You like Wayne Dyer stuff. I love the way he talks. And in one of his books, he speaks about, and he uses this from ancient Chinese theories and masters, where he says that everybody goes through 4 stages in their life. And I'm probably going to butcher a little bit, but you'll get the concept what I'm speaking about, where everybody starts off in what is known as the sportsman state, where it's about competition. It's about being first. It's about being number one. Then you move over to, I can't remember what the second state is, but the name doesn't matter, where now it's about beating the other person, sort of the beat the Jones scenario. I've got the bigger car. I've got the bigger house. We go on the most expensive holidays. I've got the nicest watch. And you beat other people to win. That you have to put down somebody else because I'm number one and I'll do whatever it takes. Then you move to the third state, which is what I remember is the statesman. So now you're becoming more consciously aware. And everybody goes through these 4 stages. You may stay in the sportsman state, in the competitive state, which is the highest stress state, for decades.
Yes.
Not like this, but there's 4 stages. So when you get to the statesman stage, now it's about how can I help you? And that typically is found outside of corporate, because this is not the trained state. We're trained and taught from when you first sat behind a desk at school. I call them the government indoctrination camps. When you're told when to put up your hand, you have to ask permission to pee, you all these things, the programming state, or the scenario where you're taught not to think, but you're taught to answer and reproduce. So we're not taught the statesman stage, where it's now, I win because I've helped you win. It's, yes, I have to look after myself. So it's not about it's putting self first, but not selfish.
Yes.
So when you get to that time now it's a lot more stress-free, because, and it was Zig Ziglar who coined the phrase, you can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. Right, so that's stage 3. Stage 4 is the spiritual stage. This is where the trappings of society, the latest cell phone, the fancy laptop, the nice car, the possessions become insignificant. You're higher, you're spiritually connected. This is where manifestation happens, seemingly simply. This is where people seem to always have good luck. They're always lucky, that person. You'll find that they're at a different stage. So understanding the dynamics of the transition that everybody goes through in life, and some people can go through the statesman and the spiritual virtually on their deathbed. Virtually in the last few months, weeks of their life, when suddenly everything that they were fighting for and arguing for and pushing for, and the position and the title and the money and the fancy house and the fancy car and all that, they're lying there going, what was it all for? What's the most important thing? So people get sorry, I'm going to jump on something here because
keep going.
The question always comes in going, okay, so how do I get out of this? Because the answer is not in your conscious thinking brain. The answer is either in super consciousness, you can call it God, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, whoever you go to for your spiritual cup, the universe, whoever it is. You can call it your subconscious mind, you can call it greater power, it doesn't matter what it is. The answer is not in your conscious thinking brain, which is only 5% of your mental capacity. But we live in 5% of our brain. Science and research has shown that 90% of our thoughts are repetitive from the previous day. And of those 90% of those thoughts, 80% of those are negative.
Yeah.
Because we're programmed into negative. Social media, negative. News, negative. Government, economy. We are drawn and look for and seek out the negative. Why do you think when you're driving down the road and there's a car crash, does everybody slow down to have a look? Now, logically, that does not make... Why would you want to feel good about somebody else's pain? But we do.
Yes.
So how do you move from here to here? How do you move out of this? And it was asking these questions discovered me.
That just lagged a little bit. Could you just repeat that last bit, please, Tim? Because I feel like you shared something really powerful then, and it just like
breathwork discovered me.
Thank you. Yeah, because I just heard like discovered me, and I was like, there's a key word in there.
There's a key word.
Because you took a breath. You wait.
Pause.
Before we carry on with that, because I feel like we need to explore into that definitely. I would just love your opinion on something, because I 100% agree with you. And then there are still systems and ways that obviously a large majority of people are still functioning, let's say that politely. And so I find that even when you don't want to go into the back and forth emails, the kind of like having to justify yourself, you know, that you can feel that energy already. And people could say, well, you don't. But there are certain situations where you do have to use your voice. And I feel like that, just some situations, no matter how conscious you are, no matter how responsive you are, how you're not trying to be reactive, the way that the system is set out, it's like unless you literally do it in the way that people can hear, and I'm not talking about words now, you know this, it's like you may as well be talking to a wall sometimes. And obviously this is a very small example, but it's just those times, and I try to like zoom out and see the kind of, not the funny side of it, because obviously you're taking a certain action in order to get a certain result, but equally I'm like, why do we have to do it like this? Like, because you can feel the stress, you can feel the, not necessarily from my part, but I mean, it's like everyone's subscribed to something that nobody actually wants to be carrying out, and there's such an easier way of doing it. And sometimes I'm just like, okay, really, we've got to do this. And I guess there isn't an answer, but I've just been noticing that recently, and and I don't know if it's based on the country and the policies and things like that, but
it's worldwide. Here's a perspective. I love talking about paradigms and how we see things. How 8 billion people in the world, and there's 8 billion ways of seeing the same thing, because we all see the same thing with different eyes, paradigms, mindset, programming, subconscious. A little bit like we spoke about earlier on with Bashar saying, understand that if we understand and truly know that everything happens for a reason, there's nothing bad that happens, you're still going to say, yeah, but that thing bad happened. Why did it have to happen? Why did that person treat me like this, act like that? Why did I crash my car? Whatever it is. Okay. Here's the other side of the same coin. If bad didn't happen, how would you know that good happens?
Yeah, polarity. Law of polarity.
Polarity, right. Here's another question. When you walk into a room, do you turn off the dark switch or on the light switch?
Yes, yeah, again, to see the light in the dark, yeah.
You've got to have. So this is all part of understanding and accepting that it is not all roses and candy floss, prettiness and sunshine. And when we start to understand that, it helps with understanding and the difficult one, accepting.
Yeah.
When shit hits fan. Right?
Yeah. But like sometimes when you can see further into things and what the outcome is going to be, and it's like, why do I have to send 10 emails first? Like, just, it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen, but I get, play the game, whatever, but I'm just like, really? Okay, because like,
what's the shortcut? Give me the answer.
I know, and sometimes I guess that's just what it is. I want to fast forward and just be like, okay, right. And again, it's not labeling it good and bad and taking that moment.
Is it about the destination?
Yeah.
Or is it about the journey? When do you learn the most? And I love saying this to my client. Right. It's the journey. You learn the most when times are tough.
Yeah.
When things go easy, you fall into the ill-fated, most dangerous place anybody could be in, called the comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
Very dangerous place. And unfortunately, people fall into this and say, I'm comfortable. And I go, oh no, how can we get you uncomfortable? How can we break out of that, break into discomfort? Because the true growth, the true life that you actually seek, you've perhaps forgotten to dream about because you kept losing it. So you go, no, it doesn't work. But you seek that, it's on the other side of the discomfort, the pain, the anguish. The place you don't want to go is the place you need to go, because that's the sign that you go in the right direction. Right?
Wise words. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I'd love your take on this, because I know we brushed over the breath work, but I think sometimes as well, and this might be a little out there, but I feel like we all have our certain paths. How we get to whatever stage or what we experience is a part of our choice. However, there are biological things and things like that, and sometimes a little tickle becomes a shove, and I just think we kind of know what's inside what we're like, oh, no thank you, no thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that again is a very clear indicator of, wow, what would be on the other side of that though if I released that and didn't have the kind of push. But equally, it's easy to reflect on it afterwards, but obviously during, it's always not so. It's not so like, I see.
Yeah, you're not going to necessarily notice at the time, as you say. But one of the key things is to start learning how to listen to your intuition, listen to that gut.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why it's there. Listen to the state of panic, fear, anger as an emotional state inside that is merely a signal or a sign. That's all that it is.
Yeah.
When you start to learn to understand that and listen to it, and ladies are far more open to listening to their gut instinct, their sixth sense, if you want to call it, because it's how you've been designed and built.
Yeah.
Because you are the protectors and nurturers. Go back to wherever you say we came from, be it aliens or monkeys, doesn't matter, but go back right to the origin of who we are now. The female was the nurturer, the carer, the home giver, the protector. So if danger walks past the door, they're going to hold back. But if a man goes and danger walks past the door, what do? They go to the door because they're programmed to go and fight the evil, the enemy, to protect the family. So ladies are far more receptive and intuitive.
Yes, yeah.
But the science has shown over the last couple of decades that as men get older, they become more intuitive. The 50s, 60s, 70s, they become more relaxed. They become more receptive and understanding on listening to their intuition, their instinct, and acting on it. And again, goes down to biology and how we're wired. Why? Because now the elder is no longer able to fight, so hands over that to the younger men coming in. So they now form more of the protector, the home base, because they've got the wisdom, the ancient wisdom, the knowledge, they're the king of the tribe, whatever you want to call it, but they're no longer the fighter. And what was found is that our hormones naturally start to change. You have more active progesterone. Which one is it? Estrogen. More female hormones become naturally, it forms naturally in a man's body. That's why you become more intuitive, more receptive to understanding all of these things that we're talking about now. Because if you had this conversation with me 10 years ago, I would have gone, go hug a tree. Really? Look, just, I don't have time for this.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And even with what you so beautifully expressed, the evolution and the expansion as well, because even when you've expressed that, whether, you know, I never said intuition and things like that previously, but I would freeze. I'd feel that contraction and I would freeze. No, comfort zone. Whereas now I'm like curious. Oh, there's a contraction. That's telling me something. What is that telling me? Is that telling me I still have something inside that needs to be, you know, we need to get to the root of something. And again, I don't, you know, fix it. I get curious. Okay, then why is there that contraction? Whereas I think, like what you so beautifully said, it would always be like, okay, honey, go, you know, So like we do still need to evolve, don't we? And that's what it just made me think about, whether that is connected or not. And I'm just
hugely, because you've become receptive to listening to the sign instead of now feeling fearful about it. You're starting to analyze it and go, hang on a second, is this real, or is it just coming from a pre-programmed state of something that could have happened when I was 3 years old and I lost mommy's hand in the supermarket and now I feel abandoned, and all my life I have this abandonment thing, which is why I've been divorced 6 times or whatever it is, and I can't make friends because of something that happened that was very traumatic when I was 3. It happens. But you're receptive and asking, and this is where you go deep into subconscious and changing paradigms. And that's a beautiful journey, that one, going into the subconscious mind.
Wow, I'm really enjoying this conversation. It's incredible, and obviously, like, I want to be mindful of your time, but equally, I know you started speaking a little about breathwork. Whether you want to share something about that, feel free, because I know it's a very powerful tool. And just before you do, I'm intrigued as to your opinion on it. And I guess it's not right, it's not wrong. Well, it might be. You're the one that's the expert, but I noticed that the 4 in, hold 2, 6 out. I noticed for me 3 times, because I was always like, well, why for 3 times? But I really do notice a huge difference, and I'm just intrigued that why there's certain numbers and certain ways.
So when are you using it? When do you feel that you need to use this breathing technique?
So it's really interesting. Prior, when I first found it out, I always thought you do breathing when you're stressed, but obviously that was something I told myself. But for me now, I feel, hence the zest, the zest, the zen. I get, actually, when I get excited, but then it's funny how people say this is now anxiety and excitement, things like that actually coexist, and we get confused about them. So even actually before even this episode, it's not I'm anxious, it's not I'm actually feeling fine, but I know I get super excited and I get very curious, and my energy can rise very quickly. And obviously, like when I'm then doing your intro, you know, well, I can't be like, you know, like what's she doing? Like it's the wrong time. And so sometimes I know that I start running in the mind and I get my words all, because I get so excited to just get into the episode. I personally, I feel it grounds me.
Beautiful. That'll do. So soon as let's go back to, I painted a picture just now about you standing on the curb and the car comes speeding past and you jump back and you automatically go into fear, fight, flight mode. Deep breathing in out your mouth, heartbeat goes up, breathing into your chest, blood pressure rises, stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline pump into your body. And you're living in this stressed state, this heightened awareness state, but you're not thinking rationally because the body takes the oxygen from your prefrontal cortex and sends it to your muscles because they now got to react, you've got to fight or flight. And so most of us, society, is living in, and it's a pandemic worldwide, is living in fear, fight, flight state, highly stressed, mouth breathers. So this is where breath work will calm and regulate the nervous system. You'll get more resonance of mind to heart.
Yes, coherent.
By changing your breathing. Exactly. Right. So when you look, as you ask, why does this work? And I love that question because that, again, as me going, I practiced, I go, okay, that was amazing. And I teach it to my clients. Yeah, but let's also have a look at the intellectual side. So people go, this is not just for those hippie tree huggy, monks who sit on the Himalayas doing this. No, it's for all of us. And what ends up by happening is if you're in this high stress state for long periods of time, your body takes strain. You start to build a layer of that little chubby fat as you get older around your midline. Why? Because that's cortisol. So your body is now storing fat because that's what it's designed to do. So people go on diets, but they're still stressed. Never going to work. That's going to stay there. But remove your stress because it's building up cortisol.
Yeah.
Heart problems, blood pressure problems, digestive issues, cancers, diseases, all begin to manifest because you're in a high stressed state. Up to 90%, depending on research that you do, of hospitalization is due to underlying causes of stress.
Wow.
Okay? And that's not just me saying it. There's research documents going back decades about.
But I think, again, just because I feel like we touched it, so I think it's really important. If you really are connected to your intuition, regardless of whether you know and you've researched, you should feel it. You should feel this peace with what you just expressed. And that's what I feel. It's like this, like it's just this knowing, regardless
awareness. It's awareness.
Yeah.
You know it, but you're aware of it. Unfortunately, you're in a minority because 90% of the world, 85, depends which study you read, live in stress state, fear, fight, flight. So they're unaware
Thank you so much
because
for highlighting that.
they're not intuitively aligned to it. So they're going to be unaware in that state. It's going back to that the unconsciously incompetent because they're unawareness. So what you have to do is you have to calm mind-body resonance and get resonance. Now, we've been designed in what's called our autonomic nervous system, ANS, which is everything that happens automatically. Your heartbeat, your blood pressure, your breathing, your digestion, your hair growth, your cell growth is all automatic. You don't think about it, right? But of all of this, which one of those can you easily manipulate? Can you manipulate your heartbeat? No. Your blood pressure? No. Okay, if you're some guru sitting on a mountain, but for the rest of us, no. Can you manipulate how you breathe? Right. So we've been gifted, God gifted us with the one mechanism that can change your entire metaphysical state. It is your breath. But here's what we don't know. Apart from in the East, we are not taught that your breath is the key catalyst to changing your entire mental, physical, spiritual state. Called the breath of God for a reason. Breathe life for a reason.
And if anybody takes anything from this episode, really listen to that, because thank you so much, Tim, because and I'm so happy I asked that question now, because I was doing it, but I didn't understand why, and now I know why. There's like, before the episode or whatever, whether I do every time or not, I don't. But now I really know that, and there's something so beautiful about the breath of life and just the,
Yeah.
you know, and now I'm aware, now I'm consciously aware, it has so much more of a deeper value and layer.
That's it. That's the powerful thing there. So let's dive a little bit deeper, shall we?
Yeah.
More into the why, what happens. So when I described it and I said breathwork discovered me. I didn't find breathwork. I couldn't find it because I didn't know it existed as a modality. So I wasn't looking for it. It was by complete default, many years after I left the corporate world due to stress, that I came across these articles on breathing. And I thought, what's this breathing nonsense? Yeah. I'm 51 years old. I've been breathing. I'm pretty experienced. Yes. I know what.
And just to add to that, to anyone listening, because I feel like, because I want you to continue, but I remember seeing breath work and paying for someone to teach me how to breathe. And this is what we're really highlighting here. We're highlighting these real, you know, we're not sat here now like, yes, I've been like this my whole life. We're showing you that there's a reason why we're explaining what we're explaining. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it is a bit weird that people do pay me to teach them how to breathe.
But that's what I'm saying. You pay him? Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's a coach, if you want to call it that way. I prefer guide.
Yeah, beautiful.
So we'll be backtracking my mind a little bit. So
sorry. This is the Zest experience, sorry.
Breathing slowly. Okay. So the very first thing that I found when I reading these articles that hit me, and I'll never forget it, and if there's one thing the audience remembers, I would like it to be the following. Yeah. That when you're stressed or anxious, shut your mouth, breathe through your nose, because it acts as a natural tranquilizer for your nervous system and will automatically calm you to find more peace and tranquility. Shut your mouth, breathe through your nose. That's the simplicity of it. Because when you're panicked, just like I described, when you're panicking, fear, fight, flight, you're breathing in and out your mouth, yes? Short, sharp breaths. Shut your mouth, breathe through your nose. Can you do short, sharp breaths in and out your nose?
I love doing it through my nose, and that's interesting that you've
just said that. But that's long.
It calms me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You see, when you breathe through your nose, you get all your nasal passages are activated, and it creates what's called nasal nitric oxide. And nasal nitric oxide is an essential gas in the transfer of oxygen into your bloodstream. Okay? But you get it naturally formed through your nasal passage. When you breathe through your nose, you're also breathing to the bottom part of your lungs. When you breathe through your mouth, you're breathing to the top.
Is that why when you can do it for your nose, and again, this is just personal experience, I can do it really for a long period, but out my mouth, I feel like it's so much more effort. Because I guess going back to the... Whereas my nose, I feel like I can just really do it, and it's like not a dizziness, but it's a really like tranquil like feeling. Whereas my mouth, I always feel like when I'm doing it out my mouth, it's kind of like releasing, and it's like, you know, effort.
Yes, very much so. Breathing through your nose, rest and digest. Breathe through your mouth, awake and activate.
There we go. Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go cold water swimming or something like Wim Hof type of thing, you do breath of fire. Awake, activate, bit of a buzz, in you go, I'm awake, I'm alive. I do a breath activator to the sunrise every morning in the beautiful lagoon where we live. Stare into the sun and I breathe deep in and out your mouth. That's activating and awakening. You're calming, and it's called resonant breath. You're slowing everything down, because when you're in a fear, fight, flight, panic state, you're breathing 16, 20, 24, 25 breaths a minute. When you're in a calm nasal breathing state, you're breathing 6. When you're breathing fast, you will have more of what's called breath hunger. Yeah. Which logically doesn't make sense. I breathe more and I breathe faster, I got more oxygen. No, less oxygen. Breathe slower in and out your nose, more oxygen. Wow. So that's where you get that calming sensation. And here's I'm going to throw 2 things out to you here. The first one is that when you breathe through your nose and you're inflating from your belly, you're activating your diaphragm, that muscle. Okay? If you're breathing into your chest, your muscle, the diaphragm's not working, huge other issues can come from that over the years. But when you breathe through your nose into the bottom part of your lungs, you've got up to 11 times greater intake of oxygen than if you're breathing into the top.
Wow.
Okay? So that's a huge thing. People who do sports, right? It's a massive difference. Hollywood is the worst place. What do they do in Hollywood when somebody's having a panic attack? They give them a flipping paper bag and they say, breathe in and out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
No.
Think about that.
You're creating more of the problem. You're breathing in less oxygen because there's more carbon dioxide in that bag, because you expel carbon dioxide, which comes to my next point I'll come back to. You expel more carbon dioxide than you inhale. So there's less oxygen, more carbon dioxide. What do? You faint.
Oh my gosh.
Lack of oxygen to the brain. No. Panic. Kids, here's one for moms out there. Kids, panic, smell a flower. Because you can't tell a kid shut their mouth, breathe through the nose. They're not going to understand it.
Well, it was funny when you said that. I was like, I think I've heard that before, but not in the way you said it.
Okay.
In a more empowering way.
So this is one for helping kids. How do you calm them down? Pretend you're smelling a flower. It'll naturally calm them because it's a long, slow breath in when you smell a flower.
And it's distracting them as well, and it's, they're concentrating on it, then they're like, huh? It's just almost, like just changing the topic, but whereas if you, wow.
Yeah, here's a tidbit for you, and I love this one. I did a talk to a group of people, and there was quite a few ladies there who were a little bit wider than they should have been. And right at the end, I just sharing some anecdotal things in the questions. And I asked them, and I said, who here has ever been on a diet? Everybody flipping puts up their hand. Okay. When you lose weight, where does that weight go? Like,
wow.
What? So what do you say? Where's the weight go?
That's a very good question, because
Exactly. You pee it out, goes out the other side, you sweat it out, go to the gym. Only 20% of weight loss is through skin, normal bodily functions. 80%
stretching.
So when you start to lose the weight, you got the stretch marks because the skin hasn't, but that's a lack of collagen in your body. That's a different discussion. Sorry. More collagen in your hand. Okay. Now we're
very visual person, sorry.
You're seeing it, but let's say now you're losing weight. What if I was to tell you that 80% of weight loss is through your breath?
Wow. Well, you did, because I was listening to you, and I was actually, I didn't want to interrupt your flow, even though I know I have a couple of times. I'm sorry. I get excited. But I was actually thinking it was really powerful. If people really listened to what you said about the breathing and the stress, the holding it in the tummy, if you really make that connection, which is what I felt like I did, hopefully, I was like, wow, we're almost being so unkind to our bodies. And I noticed this the moment I really just loved my body, and I wasn't because some people do enjoy going to the gym and doing this, and a lot of people probably don't, but if you're putting that love into it, it's different. But I remember what I was trying to achieve in the force flow and the kind of not being kind to myself was very different to when I surrendered and I said, I'm gonna love you anyway, and my body became it.
There we go. Back to words, back to how you feel. You controlled your stress levels, dropped, your breathing changed, so your entire metaphysical base changed.
So that's what I was thinking conscious. Is even if these anyone listening incorporate some breath work into their day, have a look at what happens to your body. And again, not doing it in the way of, well, I've started the breath work, why is this not checked? No, in a loving way.
In a loving way, and what's called being consciously connected to your breathing. So being a conscious connected, where literally if everybody for 1 minute 3 times a day focused on their breathing, 2-3 weeks down the line, you're going to start seeing so many different things change. And it's going to sort of go, but now why am I aware of that? Because your nervous system's calmer, so your mind's open. But how come I'm not arguing when I used to fight? Because your nervous system's down, because you're focusing on your breathing. And you're building this breathing habit to just regulate, down-regulate, and calm. By how? For 1 minute, 3 times a day, stop and breathe through your nose for 60 seconds. Count into the count of 5 and out. You do that for 5 seconds in, 5 out. You're going to calm your nervous system. Things become clearer. Like any habit, the more that you repeat it, the more that it's going to become ingrained. And so then things start to change seemingly magically all around you. But back to that one thing that we've all got control of is the power of your breath.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh, Tim, I could just keep speaking to you, but I'm going to be so mindful of your time. And I know there's going to be, if everyone, and I'm sure they are, is as equally as curious as so much more, because I know we've not even touched on so much more that you do.
I'm learning.
Please reach out to this man, be curious. All his details are in the description, and I already know it's not even going to be I believe anyway that you will completely be a whole different person, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And that's what we want, essentially, which we talked about in the intro, is body, mind, soul coherence.
100%.
And wow, what a blessing.
Beautiful.
It has been to connect with you today. Thank you so much.
Shel Marie, thank you so much. Appreciate the invitation and the conversation. And I must be honest with you, this is the first time I've done a podcast or an interview or any discussions that's gone this direction that we've gone. So I've loved it. It's been fresh and new. Good for you. Good on.
Thank you so much. And I know you've shared so much, but just one little thing that I always ask my guests to do at the end. It doesn't have to be related to anything that we've just spoken about, but obviously if you feel like it comes up and you want to share it, if someone listening right now would really benefit from hearing something, what would you tell them?
Shut your mouth, breathe through your nose, because I love you.
Yes, I loved it. And that was said with so much kindness and compassion, everyone. Trust me, it will change your life. I'm definitely going to be shutting my mouth and breathing through my nose more often. Thank you. And please, please, please share some love and subscribe and write a comment to celebrate this incredible man and all he has shared today. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Tim.
Appreciate you.
That's the magic. That's Zest.